Aloha mai. Wao kumu kia hiki, kumu kia papa Hawaiian religion and storytelling, religion 450. I've been teaching this class for, I think, 10 years. I don't know. It was originally designed by my Kumu John Lake, who was a longtime professor at St. Louis before, well, at St. Louis and at Chaminade, and then until he passed away about 8 years ago. Then he asked me to fill in his shoes, and boy, are they very large shoes. I helped design this class after to sort of shape the way I teach. And that's what we're here to talk about, what this class is kind of going to be about, what I expect from you, what I request from you, and how we're going to proceed in these unusual COVID times. But anyway, this class is going to, what I aim in this class, in all my teaching, is to provide you tools. And in these tools, they're kind of cultural tools. I'm not going to present a class of just facts. They'll be more like concepts. I'm not just going to throw strings of ideas at you. I'm going to probably put more like context. And when you put these concepts into context, you'll begin to build a framework in this idea of Hawaiian religion, because we are going to essentially evolve Hawaiian religion from the fundamental elements that influence how we develop belief systems. So I can guarantee you this about this class: it will be different than any class you ever took. It's kind of designed the way I would have liked to have taken a class when I was your age, probably a while ago. And then, and that way that I'm sort of mentioning is, I kind of coined it as called Socratic hypothetical experientialism. We are going to learn some ideas. We're going to conduct hypothetical situations by which you have to think yourself through, and develop sets of values that we were going to realize were in fact the values that are most important in the Hawaiian culture. And then you know why they're valued in the Hawaiian culture. Then you're going to know why they weave themselves into the protocols, into the cultural practices, to traditions, to storytelling. And that's, I think, a lot more tangible and a lot more resilient and easier to recall than just sort of pushing dates and places and people at you. But we are, in this particular class, rather blazing a new path. I've not quite done this class online. I really liked it face-to-face, but I think we can do the best we can. And it might even be better. We're going to find out. But I need you guys to buy into this. And I need you guys to really give it our best effort, and we're going to see how it goes. The one benefit I'd like to say of being online is we don't have face shields and masks. I was a little uncomfortable with that idea, but we know right now that we're sort of committed to the first 3 weeks of this class online, sort of like this. And so we're going to meet on Tuesdays and Thursdays for about 90 minutes. And we'll be doing quizzes, we'll be doing homework assignments, we'll be doing a number of these hypothetical scenarios. We'll be throwing a lot of ideas, crucial sort of concepts at you in terms of proverbs that will help build this structure. And the reason why is because you're never going to quite learn culture. You're going to, I think the benefit of being around Kumu Lake is we just essentially practiced it all the time. And that's from which I built this class, was what we did, can I understand why we did it? And then think about it. If you really can't figure out why, then maybe then you go ask. But we just did it by doing. We learned by doing. Now, the idea of building this cultural framework or structure has one very strong benefit, and that is I might kind of teach you this idea here, and then we're going to connect it to this idea over here. But you're going to need to, after this class, maybe at some point in time, figure out what this idea is right in the middle. Well, because you have a basic understanding of these ideas, you can interpolate in, and you're going to figure or learn something that I never taught you. I just taught you these basic ideas, and you can figure it out in between, which means the amount of commitment you put into this class will dictate how tightly weaved your knowledge will be about Hawaiian culture. And it's more than just, I'm not big on knowing Hawaiian culture for the purposes of Hawaiian culture. I'm more of an application person, which is why I had originally studied engineering, because I loved math and science, but I want to apply it by building things or destroying things. Or also in medicine, it's like you can learn biology, anatomy, endocrinology, physiology, but it's better to, it's more rewarding to me to apply. So this class is, in a sense, an application class. I'll be providing you tools, and I'm hoping that you will connect these tools together and use them, become familiar with them, even for the, maybe just for the brief period in this class. But if you start using these ideas or these concepts and think about them and start using them as tools, they're going to be yours forever. And let's make it clear, once I've taught you this tool and handed it over to you, it's yours. And I hope you find it useful, maybe to understand yourself. I had people kind of cry in my class because they finally figured out why they felt a certain way, or why they've been struggling with something for so long. That doesn't happen that often. There was somebody had an epiphany. I remember it very well. And it's very rewarding to know that she picked up that tool and she sort of thought about it and started applying it to some of the ways she was feeling and thinking, and it really helped her. Either way, in this class, there's you guys are adults, you're college students now. And I wanted to basically lay out these easy rules that you know already. But I just want to throw them out there because I think if we lose track of those rules, we're going to lose track of the whole momentum of this class. And that is, one, that we're going to respect each other. I most certainly respect you, but that we respect each other's ideas, and also to not only respect their ideas, but to speak respectfully towards those ideas, and that we're going to collectively develop these ideas. I want you to tell me what you know, and from that will shape what actually is you can consider to be fairly authentic or valid concepts, contextual concepts, culturally contextual concepts in Hawaii. So that's the first rule, just that we're going to respect each other. And also by respect means that you're paying attention to not coming to class late or disruptive, or at least trying to be here regularly, with attendance and everything. And that's kind of leads into the second rule, which is just basically you're going to be responsible about this class. That we're all going to get into this cultural, what I call the cultural combat canoe, and we're going to charge forward. But everybody needs to put the paddle in the water. Everybody needs to push this canoe down the road. If you're missing, the canoe will not quite run the same way. And so we want commitment, I guess, for this brief period of time. But I know you're adults. I know things come up. All I really ask is that you let me know if you're having challenges. If you don't understand what I'm saying, let's talk about it. Before we have the Zoom meeting, after the Zoom meeting, or at a time at your convenience. I'm very flexible this semester. I leave this semester fairly open and flexible. So if you want to meet online or even in person, we can meet and clear up some ideas or help build your understanding. Or maybe there's some off-topic questions you want to discuss. That happens a lot with some of my students. So once again, we're building this new path together. You're into it. You're going to be a kumu as much as this online experience is, as much as I'm going to be a kumu. We're going to work it together. We're going to all be in the same boat. I kind of got the paddle. I'm the steersman a bit, but if you think we need to change course, I'm all good. We'll change. So respect and your responsibility to the class, that you do your assignments, that you sort of, like I was saying, commit. But there's one request I'm making. So it's not a requirement, but it definitely is a strong request. A request that you participate. Socratic method, which we'll talk about later, really requires a participatory dialogue and dynamic. And that this is an interesting statement I'll make. It holds fairly true. The most participatory students always get the best grades. And it's not because I recognize who they are and they participated. It's because by participating, you're taking these tools, you're using these tools, we're throwing them between each other, we're shaping them, we're looking at them differently. And when you do that, you get it. You get it. You don't even need notes. It's all in here. And that's what I really want. I want us to take this knowledge and put it in here. Put it in here. Because that's how you're going to use it. if you have the nicest tool set at home, but you never bring it with you, you can't use them. So let's put our tools in our nearby. We use them wherever we can. There'll be scenarios in class where we'll be able to sort of apply them, and we'll apply them frequently so that we have a good handle of it. And I will promise you this, if you participate dynamically and actively and regularly and attentively, I will not waste your time. That's my promise. If we will be, it will be appropriate, it will be relevant, it will be meaningful kinds of things. Some of it will be a little heavy on the academic side, some will be heavy on the sort of lists of things that we need to think about. Most of the long list you will develop. I'll ask you questions, and you as a group will probably split off into teams, breakout rooms here on Zoom, and you're going to develop these ideas that are going to then coalesce together to make the theme of what we're trying to find out. I'm not going to disclose all these things to you. You're going to get it when you get to class. Once again, this class is going to be, not once again, but this class will be on Tuesdays and Thursdays for 90 straight minutes or something like that. We can be very flexible. We can be very flexible less than 90 minutes, but I will, you know, pinky swear that I will get you out by 90 minutes. And I know these are going to be long days, and they're going to probably be some dry days, but I'm going to try to make them dynamic, engaging, relevant, meaningful, appropriate, and applicable. That the other thing is the semester is going to end a little early, which I think is kind of cool. We're going to be ending at Thanksgiving. It kind of trips me up. I really had the curriculum in the classroom set up, and everything speeds up from, it's sped up and really condensed not condensed. We really brought all the ideas that we had in between Thanksgiving and the end of the semester. We are converging all these ideas to the grand theory theme. So sometime I'll shift that with your guys' help, letting me know that you're moving too fast, or you're way too confusing, or you're talking too much, listening not enough. So I want this to be a relationship in this class. Let's see, I think that's primarily, as I said earlier, if you want to discuss anything inside or outside of this class, then we can meet before our Zoom meeting, after our Zoom meetings, but try to let me know ahead of time so I don't plan anything. And the person that wants to meet after class, first come, first serve. Well, that's going to be, if it's a private thing, then we'll make sure we section it off so it's just you. If you don't mind getting a group of people, maybe a bunch of people will want to stay on the Zoom classroom afterwards so they can hear what we're talking about and clear some questions or offer up new ideas that we can weave into our little knowledge. Outside of that, I think we're going to have a very, very cool time. I'm curious at how this will pan out. I appreciate your patience, that you remember to respect and be responsible, and then please participate in this class. And we are going to rock and roll this thing. Pretty cool. Okay, either way, I look forward to seeing everybody in class. We're starting this Monday, which is 2 days from now, Sunday, then we got the Monday. And I think we got a lot to, well, this class is actually Tuesday. Seminar online starting on Mondays. Let's get this done. And we'll discover a lot about ourselves, a ton about Hawaiian culture. And basically, in general, how the world ticks. Okay? Either way, guys, until we see each other on Tuesday, I'll be sending an email out to give you links to the Zoom and everything. So once we do that, feel free to contact me, either my Gmail or my phone number, and we'll keep a dialogue going, okay? Until Tuesday, I'll see you guys soon. Thanks.